Hello. Okay. Well, it's Thursday, the first, March 1st, and this is my third video for our class as we are finishing up the Odyssey and starting the second paper. So I thought I'd get in touch with you all as close to in person as is possible, and let you know a few things. Finished grading the first set of papers. I thought that they were quite good for the most part. I provided feedback in the dialog boxes offered. I'm not sure how you received that. I think it's available on Moodle, or I think you might even get an email. But just to explain my grading a little bit, I went through and scored the paper in 4 major categories, and then provided feedback. So if most of it is geared toward content, but there are elements of grammar and organization and formatting, that kind of thing as well, that you can be scored on as well. So if this is the best I've come up with as far as how I can get feedback on papers. What I want to say is that if you would like to receive more specific feedback, that is like line by line commentary and correction of things, then that is a possibility that we can do. You could either call me during my office hours or visit me during my office hours, or we could set an appointment to go over your paper over the phone or in person. If 4 to 6 on Thursday and Monday do not work for you, okay. The other option, the third option, is you can send me your paper, print out your paper, and send it to me at LCC, Little Colorado Campus, a physical copy, and provide a return envelope so that I can go through and grade it and just stick it in the envelope you provide and send it back to you, either whatever is most convenient for you, at your home or to pick up at school. I'm not quite sure how that would happen, but as long as you provide me an envelope with your address on it where you are expecting to get the paper, then I will do that as well. So again, that's for more grammar oriented stuff, line by line, word by word type stuff. But for the most part, I think most people have that under control. And one issue that would be really nice to go over in class, but is the in-text citation. That was a little bit of a tricky point for some people. So what I'll say for now is that if you have the Everyday Writer, the handbook that you used in 101, go through that and look for the area that covers in-text citation. That is, how do you cite an actual quote that you take out of the book? We'll certainly do some more work with that when we get to the research paper. But if you're just looking for the basics, check that out, or OWL, OWL, and the Purdue site, and just type in in-text citation, and it'll show you sort of the methodology for doing that. It's real basic, just the quotation marks around the actual material you're quoting integrated smoothly into the text, and then no punctuation inside the quotation marks unless it is at the end, unless it's a exclamation point or a quotation mark, or a question mark, and then the quotations, the parentheses, and then the textual information, the author and page number is the typical way to do it. For the paper on the Odyssey, I'm asking you to put in the page number and line number. So if you put a quote in, say the Odysseus says something. Odysseus says, "Oh, I hate the gods." Quotation marks around that, parentheses, just the page number, so 342, and then the line number, 15 through 26, whatever the line number is, and that's it. And then a period at the end of the quotation of the parentheses always as well. The other issue that was fairly in common was simply really making it crystal clear what your argument is. You should be able to underline the exact sentence in your introduction, usually the last sentence, but that can vary. But one sentence in your introduction should be the exact claim that you are going to be working to support throughout your paper. Okay, that not only makes it very clear and forces you to narrow it down and settle on one specific thing that you're going to be talking about in the paper, but that also allows you to build points of support off of that. So it's almost like a blueprint where you say, okay, here's my point. Let's see, the Odysseus represents the perfect idea of a journey, in that he is constantly forced to make choices that further his journey along. I just made that up, so it's not very good. So what I have to then do, but it is a claim, right? It's a claim that has to be defended. So then I need to look at exactly what I said, my claim, that because he makes the choices that forces journey along. So now I have to find in the text and create 3 points of support that will be contained within a paragraph each that talk about that very, very specific approach to the book. Okay, and I think that the writing itself for most people was quite good. So I don't have concerns about that, but just about the organization of the paper into a really strong academic argument with a clear point as your thesis claim, and then for each point of support, a full paragraph that contains only that idea, and usually some sort of textual evidence. Okay, so I'm going to put the paper up today. The paper assignment, I'm going to give you two. Actually, the 2 weeks would fall on Thursday of spring break, so I'm not going to do that to you. So it's up to you whether you want to work out over the break, but I'll have it due on the Monday after spring break. Okay, I think that's only fair. So that would be the 19th. Any time on the 19th, you can turn that in, or before then. I'll put up the turn in icon this weekend, I think, when I put up the next assignment. Okay, so any questions, let me know, and I guess I'll give you a little bit of a preview of the next book while I'm at it, and that is Apollonius of Rhodes, Jason and the Argonauts, another ancient text. They seem like we're all doing ancient texts, but keep in mind that we're covering a period of several thousand years. So we started with Gilgamesh at around 2000, the Odyssey around 1000 to 800 or so. Its final form reached that form in 800 or 700 BC. Now we're jumping ahead a full 400 years to around 300 BC to read another myth, another very, very popular myth, that Apollonius of Rhodes composed a poem much shorter than the Odyssey. So we're taking 2 weeks on this, and in many ways is responding to Homer and the sort of very traditional form of the epic poem. And he's making a lot of innovations. He's undercutting it in many ways. It's very interesting to see compare the idea of the hero and how he undermines or alters, plays with that ideal for Greek literature. And also, this is a book that was meant to be meant to be read, written to be read. So where the Greeks would tend to hear performances of Homer for the first time, we now have a book that is meant to be read. I'll have a little bit of misgivings about signing this book, but I want to just go for it anyway. It's I've never taught it before, but it's one of my favorite stories and one of my favorite figures, both author and figure. Jason, who voyaged on the Argonautica on the Argo. The poem is called the Argonautica in the Greek, and has a lot of great characters, and probably one of the strongest female characters, certainly in early literature anyway. And I will say that I'm hoping this goes well. We'll see, because again, I haven't taught this before, but I'll probably say some more about that in the introduction to this weekend when I put up this weekend on Monday when I put up the assignment for the week. But my fingers are crossed. I hope you enjoy it, is all I can say. And I may not get back to another video before spring break, so have a great break. And again, as always, if you have any concerns or questions, get in touch with me. If you have anything you want me to address in the next video that I tackle, go ahead and do that. But count on 2 weeks for the 2 weeks plus a few days for this next paper. And if you're, feel free always to get in touch with me before you turn the paper in as well, because I'm happy to go over your thesis with you and see if there's anything that I can suggest to make it a little bit stronger. One thing I will also note is I am making available the option of you to do a revision of your essays. I think I said, I forget what I said in the syllabus, but I'll give you 2 weeks to do that if you want. So basically 2 weeks from today, when the grades were finished, if you want to do a revision of your first paper, you may do that to submit. If you choose to do that, just email me your revision. But it does know that I am asking for a substantial revision. So not just the playing around with a couple words here and there. Essentially a rewriting of the paper, a thorough revision, as in re-seeing of the paper. And I'll compare the two side by side, and if there's just minor changes, then that's not something I would accept. But if you really want to get in there and make major changes, really work on making it a different, better paper, then by all means, I am happy to allow that and look at what you come up with, and if appropriate, raise your grade on that. Okay. I think that's it. So again, good job in the first paper. Good luck on the second paper, and have a great break. And I will sign off. So Excelsior. Have a great break. Bye.